is cooking shit up.
What is going on? Welcome to this edition of the Heatwave Spotlight. EVM, if you're out there, I love that beat more and more every time I hear it. I'm so glad we have it for the intro. Today, we have a man that I think everybody in this group knows. If you don't know him, you will soon. If you've attended any of his events, especially the last one that he had, where it's like a collab event. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well, which kind of, brings producers who never maybe thought they were going to work together before. It brings them together to create music, all for this big event. He does some amazing stuff. If you've ever been in FL Gangland, or if you come from that world, which a lot of us here in Heatwave has, you have probably participated or at least tuned in for Beat of the Week. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Jay Hayden. What's going on, Jay?
Good, man. What's popping with you, man?
Not much. Is the hurricane coming at you?
No, man. I can say that it's not, but prayers up. I know it's coming towards Stephanie and out there in the Florida area, so prayers up to them.
All right, cool. Well, before we get into any questions that I have for you or that we have for you, I think I speak for the entire Heatwave group, especially, admins and things like that, when I say thank you. Thank you for giving up your time to host these events. Thank you for being consistent in doing it. Thank you for all of your enthusiasm, your love of music, your love of your fellow producers, and just a heartfelt shout out.
Yes, sir. I thank y'all, bro. If it wouldn't be no me if it wasn't for y'all. So thank y'all.
All right. Awesome. All right. So we're getting some things in the chats. A lot of people saying, what's up, Walter Ford? Who's this one? We've got some Aaron Island from the, hold on. I can't remember your area code. I'm so sorry. 318? 318. 318. Coming from the 318. Yes, we got Michael Melendez, Grand Prix saying, what's up? I guess, yeah. So I want to start off talking about this last event you hosted. I was able, Sunday nights are bad for me. Like, I have a lot of family obligations and things like that, but I always try to catch the replay, and I caught at least part one of the collab challenge. So okay, I just wanted to know how you came up with that challenge, what inspired you, and how it's going with it.
Well, actually, it was a comment that came through while I was doing Beat of the Week one night, that somebody suggested like we should do a collab challenge. Now I know a while back in Gangland we did one, and that's been almost maybe over a year ago. So I was like, why not? Let's bring it back. And I really didn't expect that much participation from it, but it kind of blew up, so kind of just ran with it, man.
All right. I loved hearing some of those collabs. I put my highlights. Some of my favorite teams were like John Pope with Mike Melendez. Like, they had a really good, they kind of kicked it off with a strong beat.
Oh yeah, it was
bad. Yeah. G Fred and Keith Sosa. Yeah, they had a hot one.
Yeah, for sure.
Chains and Kevin Randolph. I don't know Kevin Randolph, but I definitely know Chains, and his work.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah. Did you have any favorite combinations or any surprise combinations that came out of that impressed you?
I had a couple of surprises. I don't want to stir the pot on anything. I'm just gonna say I had a couple of surprises. I did.
All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna start off then with some of the standard questions I like to ask everybody that's a producer that comes on the show, at least.
Okay.
Um, who are your musical inspirations? Like, what got you started in music?
Uh, um, Actually, my parents got me started in music. Oddly enough, I started off playing the keyboard because I was purchased one for Christmas and I played around with it, and it kind of made me take lessons, which I wasn't too fond of at first, but it
Hmm.
kind of grew on me. And then as I got older, I started playing in churches. I'm a Baptist religion. I grew up in church all my life, so I got my start in church actually,
Yeah,
and it just grew on from that. And then after the gospel, I was like, oh, I'm gonna try my hand at some more stuff, and I got introduced to FL Studio by a homie of mine back when I had FL11, and
hmm,
I kind of it was just I was having fun with it, and I was like, okay, I like doing this, so here I am today, still using the FL, still trying to learn stuff from you guys and everybody else. So that's
yeah.
basically it, man. Yeah.
What are you bumping in your car right now?
Man, I'm old school, man. I'm still I'm still bumping like the Patti LaBelle's and the Marvin Gaye's and the Luther Vandross, man. I dab with the current genre of music every now and then, but I'm an old head at heart, man. So I'm definitely bumping R&B and old school all the
Uh,
way.
all right, cool, cool. Oh, I thought so. I mean, you can kind of tell from your production too. Like,
Oh yeah.
let me ask this question: have you ever made a beat without keys in it?
I can't say that I have, man. It's like with me, I know everybody had. I know I'm kind of moving ahead, but I know everybody has their different start on how they do their songs. And keys is just comfortable for me to find the notes of my 808s and everything else like that. So, and I kind of want to take them out and replace them with another instrument. Though sometimes I'm just like, I'm gonna leave them in there. So yeah, man, yeah, I like the keys.
Oh, all right, cool, cool. Um, so like, let me go back here. So I'm, we're gonna first of all, let me tell everybody on this. If you're watching this live, please, if you have a question for Jay, put it in the chat. He's happy to answer anything.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Pat Carney's here. That's good. Let me ask you about. So you kind of did touch on it. Your flow. Like, are you a melody first, a chords first, a beat first? Like, how do you normally work?
I'm definitely a melody first. It's just comfortable for me that way, like I said, because it helps me to kind of put my instrumentation together. Once I start with the keys, depending on the vibe of the song, I can hear, oh, I want a string here. Oh, okay, I want a saxophone here next. Oh, I want an electric piano. It's just the melody for me is easier to just base my drums around. But I recently did just try to dabble around and starting drums first. It
Mm-hmm.
worked. It just took me a little bit longer than usual. Yeah, but yeah, I definitely like starting with the melody first. Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Oh, we do have one question from Kilo Beats, Keith Longpree. I don't know if I guess he's probably been in some of your lives before.
Yeah.
Um, he's one of my fellow Canadians over here on this side of the border. He
Okay.
says, "How are you always so damn happy?"
Man, I just try to keep a positive attitude on everything, man. I always, even when stuff is going wrong, I always tell myself it could be worse. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to keep a positive outlook on everything. I have my days, and I try not to show them that much. Even I might be hurting on the inside, I still be smiling on the outside, man. So what y'all see is what y'all get. It ain't no faking here, man.
Yeah, and maybe church helps with that a little bit,
Yeah, yeah, most
Yeah.
definitely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Um, or maybe Smurf piss every once in a while when you get
Oh yeah,
drinking the blue.
yes, sir.
Pat Carney wants to know if you have a favorite key or a favorite tempo or anything like that.
Oh man, I would have to say E minor. I
Huh.
like playing melodies in minor keys, but it's just something about that E minor because I know the scale of E minor pretty well, and I go, more familiar scales when I make my melodies. I mean, I don't mind stepping outside my comfort zone every now and then, but if I'm trying to make some fire, like E minor is like my go-to key because 808 sit well right there and everything else. So I would definitely have to go with E minor.
Huh.
Yeah.
I never even think about the key before I start. I just start tinkering it, like, because I'm
Yeah.
not a keyboard player first, right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
yeah, that's interesting. All right. Okay.
And he said tempo too. Around the 130, 140, 130, 140.
Okay.
Depending on what I'm making. If I'm making R&B, I might go a little bit slower, but between 130, 140 is the sweet spot for me.
Okay. That's about where trap starts, right? Like,
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
up to 150, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Aaron Island wants to know if you remember club members. I don't even know what that means, but I'm going to ask you.
It's actually a little nightclub because that me and him is from the same area. So it's actually a little nightclub that we had a long time ago. And to answer your question, yes, sir, I do remember that. Yes, sir.
All right. Pat Carney loves the minors. I think everybody, like, most of the beats are in a minor key that I hear in the beat of the week or our hotspot that we have over here. It's just like where hip hop comes from, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably the one crazy person that sends a major key beat every once in a while.
Majors work. I'm telling you, man, ain't nothing wrong with majors at all, man. It sounds just as good, just more happy.
Yeah. All right. Let me ask you this. This is something I've always wondered.
Okay.
Like, you spend so much time supporting other producers, putting on these events, putting your heart and soul into it. And I feel like it might take away from the time you might have to make your own music or to grow as a musician or something like that. Is the trade-off worth it for you?
It's definitely worth it, man. And I say that for a couple of reasons is like I said earlier, you guys inspire me because it'd be days that I just don't want to make music at all. And I can host an event and I just sit back and listen to some of y'all stuff. And I'm like, okay, as soon as I get off this live the next day or that night, I'm like, okay, I'm about to make a beat. Because I mean, y'all inspire me to do so. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a good trade-off. And too, I might be clowning around in some of my events when I hear something and I shout somebody out and be like, hey, yo, I would love to get on that. And I be saying it as a joke, and then by the time I get off the live, I got like 5 emails to be like, "Here you go, Jay. Here's that beat that you wanted to get on." So yeah, that kind of just making me get on the keys and just do some stuff. So yeah, I would say the trade-off is worth it, man. Because like I said, you guys definitely inspire me to be creative. So yeah, I would say yeah, it's definitely worth it.
I think your mom might be in the chat.
Hey, mom, yeah.
Showing you some love. That's awesome. So let me ask you this. It seems like your love is more in the community and like collaborating and all that kind of stuff. I think almost everybody on this chat has a regular job, right? Like we have a 9 to 5 and then we do music on the side.
Right.
If you could do whatever you wanted all day long, what would you do? Like, what's your dream? What's your dream?
Ah, man. It's gonna sound super corny, but I always I wanted to be part of these super famous stage plays, almost like Tyler Perry, if you will, when he was doing all the Medeas and stuff. And after the show, it those behind the scene moments where he introduces the band that plays all of the songs that are sung throughout the play, and he shouts each musician out individually. I wanted to be one of those musicians. Like I love being a behind the scenes guy. Like as much as I'm behind the camera, and I know it sounds weird, but I just love being behind the scenes. Like I just want to just be a keyboard player backstage for whomever famous. You know what I'm saying? Like if I can write a couple of songs or produce a couple of songs and don't have to be seen, just give me a shout out. I'm cool with that. So anything that involves music, regardless if it's me doing my own beats or just doing melodies for other people or collaborating with anybody that's hot at the time, that's kind of where I want to go with my music.
All right. That's probably something you could do. Well, maybe family reasons. Like, I think you'd have to travel, right, to be part of
Yeah,
something like that. So that
yeah,
makes it a little more difficult.
right.
Yeah. All right. I thought you were going to say you were going to go into comedy, like just watching your TikToks.
You know,
I thought you'd just be making TikToks all day.
oh, man, look, I just do that to kill time. That's like another stress reliever for me. It's just laughter. Laughter is good for the soul, man. So I just, you never know somebody that's going through something and they just come across one of my videos and laugh. That's it.
Yeah.
It just to make anybody feel better, man. That's what I'm here for.
All right. All right, cool. Somebody else says likewise, Jay, but I'm sorry if I don't get your name in the stream. It's like which Facebook you're joining for some reason, so I apologize that I don't have everybody's name. All right, well, let me go to I have a few questions for you. Let me see here.
Okay.
So, any tips? So, I also like to ask every producer that comes on here, do you have any, let's say somebody's tuning in,
Right.
watching this live or watching it on the playback, and it's World Tour Beats. World Tour Beats is hopping in. He was the one that was saying likewise, Jay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let's say, like there's somebody brand new to producing, just pirated FL Studio the other day. they're hopping on, they're trying to figure it out. What are some tips, tricks, pieces of advice that you'd give to any new producer?
Man, the only tip, because like I said, I'm still learning FL Studio myself, but the only tip that I can give anybody that's coming into the music thing is just do what you feel, man. There's no right and wrong answers to making music. I mean, there are hundreds and thousands of YouTube videos. You can get tips and tricks from all producers, to speed up your workflow, and that's cool. But at the end of the day, I just basically tell somebody, as vague as it will sound, be yourself. To me, music is an emotion. It's whatever you're feeling at the time. So, I mean, and it's just a way to release whatever you got going on into that beat. You know what I'm saying? So if I had to give any tips to anybody, man, just be yourself when you're making your music. There's, you don't have to be like everybody else. Just be you.
Okay. That is good advice. Be true to who you are and what you love. So that being said, let's hop into your first beat. We have, let me see which three you sent in. There's 2 times, feelings, and I don't know if it's yeah or yay.
It's yeah. I was just sending some randoms, man, because I haven't really been able to make anything recent, so I just sent what I could find.
No, it's all good. Which one do you want to play first?
We can go with feelings.
All right, we're starting with feelings. Let's play it. Here we go. I kind of wish I had my keyboard on to see if it's an E minor.
oh man, this one is.
Hey Jay, play that track.
It might be, yeah, it might be. I appreciate that. I believe
All right. Yeah, I see. So I think there's some good advice for new producers in that track, and I'll tell you why. What I love about that track is everything's open and there's not too much going on, so there's like plenty of room for an artist to do their thing,
right.
and there's space. And as a new producer, I know I'm still guilty of it. Like we try to, if it fits, we put it in, right?
Right. Definitely.
But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
That and to be completely honest with you, Jason, that was actually a very rushed track because it was actually for Pat Carney for his event that he ran a few Fridays ago, because he had hit me up on Messenger and was like, "Hey, yo, Jay, send something in." And like I said, I really haven't been making anything new, so I ain't want to send nothing old. So I got off work and I just got in FL and I just made it and sent it. I don't even know if the mix is good or not. I just, because I want to support. Like I said, I'm all about the support. And when he hit me up, I was like, I got you. And I came here and made that beat and sent it. I hope for the best. I got a few eights. And so that's all I,
It don't sound rushed.
Hey, man, to me it did, but hey, it is what it is, man.
All right, cool. So let me see. I'm gonna go through. We might just go to your. Well, let me ask this. I like to ask this of people too.
Okay.
Do you have in your music career, and this can be playing keyboards for your church or playing keyboards for an artist at a show, or it could be production wise, producing, working with an artist, anything like that.
Right.
What's your craziest story? Do you have one?
Oh, man.
And it's okay if you don't.
Most of my crazy, believe it or not, most of my crazy stories happen in church. That's the crazy part about it. I mean, it's nothing too crazy. I've dealt with different type of choirs, if you would, because I know everybody's not on the religious side, but I deal with different types of choirs, from young people to younger children, like little to grown older adults. And I must say that it's a challenge dealing with the older crowd, because they can't always get hit with the, I guess you can call me, the younger generation. So I've had some back and forth with a couple of the old heads in some of these choirs about how I play my music, and it's too loud and it's too this and too contemporary. And I've had a couple of arguments in church with some of these folks that led to me, having to resign from a couple of these churches. I'm not gonna go into detail, but
Wow.
yeah, they wouldn't be gone, bro. So I was like, all right. So that's kind of why I started venturing out outside of gospel, and I went to L, because eventually, I mean, I'm gonna be in church all my life, but eventually I want to do something else other than that, and I don't have to worry about the chitter chatter of somebody in my ear when I'm making music for me versus for somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I guarantee you, most of my crazy experiences have come from inside the church, believe it or not.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I think for a lot of musicians, music can be like therapy, right?
Yes.
Like if you're trying to, like you mentioned before, it's getting your emotions out somehow.
Yes.
Or, it's just a chance to shut the world out and make your craft, right? So it's tough to do that if some old head in a church is telling you're doing it too loud.
There you go, man.
Oh yeah, Dwayne Hagens. Yeah, he's saying church people can get a little wild.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
And I grew up in church too, like when I was little. And you'd be surprised at how much, like, the whole the whole like idea of the religion is based on giving yourself up for others or for God and that type of thing. But a
Right.
lot of the times egos come into play. Like
Yes.
people still, God didn't
Yes.
remove everybody's egos.
Yes. Lord, yes. And it's
So yeah,
so traditional too, man. It's the traditional aspect of it as well, because everybody in church is so traditional and they don't like change. I don't mind, because I'm versatile when it comes down to gospel. Like I can do old school, but I can also do new school. But everybody is just so traditional. That's why I tell everybody, like, you do music, do it for you. Don't do it like everything else that you're gonna hear. Just do it for you.
Yeah, that's true.
It.
And if your music's not growing, it's dying, right? Like if you're not moving with the, learning something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. He's saying everybody wants a solo, but don't need a solo. That's the truth.
Hey, yes, man.
All right. All right. So, sometimes I like to just ask people what their gear is, right? Like I know your keyboard broke on you one time and you had to get a new one. So like, what does your setup look like? Just kind of curious.
Man, I have the most basic generic setup in the world, man. I got me a little computer desk. I have my real keyboard that I play for church. I got my MIDI keyboard right here that fits the desk. I have my my interface is a Focusrite. And I got my 2K arcades that I've been having forever. As y'all can see, I finally invested in the webcam. And that's basically really all I got, man. I don't have all the fancy stuff like y'all got, man. I just got the generic, basic, plain setup, bro, that just gets the job done. Eventually, I do want to. Everybody's been telling me I want to invest in a gaming PC, because I can't open up like a contact in the Omnisphere in my FL without my shit just getting destroyed.
Yeah.
So eventually I'm gonna invest in a better computer, man. But other than that, man, I just been getting, one piece of equipment at a time as I can afford it, because this shit is not cheap, man.
That is true. My setup's almost like yours. I mean, I have a microphone. That's the probably only difference. But you ever see that like Facebook post that shows there was a T-Pain song that was recorded and they showed the setup that it was recorded on? You ever see that clip before?
I saw it, yeah.
And it's like some raggedy old desk with, some like beige computer.
Right.
So it's not the equipment, it's the talent. Well, the computer does matter. Like the better processor, more memory you have, obviously.
Man.
You can use those Omnisphere voices and choirs and things like that. Yeah,
man. Because I gonna sing some stuff like you don't even need a setup. Because I know Pacino, for the longest, that boy, he was cooking up on FL Mobile. Like the boy was making the beat on his phone. So I know, a setup don't matter no more these days, man.
That is true. That is true. All right. Oh, and then Aaron Island says, we got the same exact setup.
See,
and he makes fire.
He makes fire. That boy make, oh my God.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, let's go into your next one. Let me bring it up. Let me see what we got here.
All right.
Video. So we've heard, we got feelings, and we got 2 times.
Oh, we did feelings first. So
we did feelings first. You're right.
Yeah, whichever one you want to play after that, it's fine, man. It don't matter.
Let's play yeah. Here we go.
Hey Jay, play that track.
All right. You can definitely tell you started with the melody on that one.
Oh yes, sir. And before
So,
anybody jump down my neck about how repetitive that was actually a song I did for a homie of mine that's back in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I just sent the beat. He did the song over the beat, but the lyrics was kind of so I just sent the beat.
all right. Well, S Dot's joined in. Vaughn's here.
Look,
Vaughn Collins.
what up with
Huva.
y'all, man? Bun, what's
Yeah,
up with y'all?
yeah. EVM's popped in.
What up, man? Yes,
Quick
sir.
question. So, where is it? Ashley or Deadass Beats was asking about your saying you're going to pull out the Nerf. Do you pull out a Nerf gun or something like that during your
Oh,
lives?
man. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, it's just I got a little Fortnite Nerf gun I bring to my lives like every live. That just basically symbolizes if a beat is just nasty or it's just getting through. I be like, oh yeah, that's a hit right there. So yeah, that's just a little prop I bring every now and then. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, so I'm gonna play your last beat.
Okay.
I personally don't have any more questions for you, so I'm gonna let everybody in the chat. So, everybody in the chat, if you have any questions for Jay that you've always wanted to ask him, like you've always gone to the live, you've kind of just been waiting for your beat to get played, and you're voting on beats and things like that, but you want to know the man a little bit better, you want to know a little something about Jay, feel free to ask in the chat while we play this beat, and then we'll have little rapid fire questions. All right, so let me find your next beat real quick. All right, we're going to go to 2 Times.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's play it. Well, I'm trying to play it. There we go.
Hey Jay, play that track.
I'll do a trailer next year, bro. Stay tuned.
If I had a Nerf gun, I'd be shooting it right now.
don't know how to take that.
It's a squishy beat. All right, so that one's in the VIP. We're gonna go ahead and put that in the VIP right there.
Oh, man,
it it might be beat of the week. I don't know, but that was some
hey,
fire.
I
That was
don't know,
definitely
man.
some heat.
Y'all be bringing that fire. I don't know, man.
All right, so let me find these questions because we had a lot of questions come in during all that fire. So let's see here. All right, so
Okay.
we'll start with this one. When you coming to the ATL?
Hey, man. Like I said, next year I'm really gonna be trying to do some moving around. Like I said, I've been in my crib for about a few months now, just trying to get everything financially situated and everything, and all my ducks in a row. And once I start saving up a little money, and I can start getting up and doing some things, man. So stay tuned. I'm gonna try to start doing some traveling next year, man. So I'm gonna let you know. Let you know.
All right. Well, I'm just I'm not saying the pandemic is over, but you can travel
Right.
again, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah,
There you go.
grateful for that.
Oh yeah.
And then the one that called your beat squishy, Shauna Carney here, wants to know what's the worst roast you've ever heard about somebody's beat. And you ain't got
Man,
to say no names.
it's just so many, man. But I remember one in particular, and it was like maybe even a year or so back, man. I don't know what happened. I was playing somebody's beat, and I opened it up, and it played for like 10 seconds, and my whole computer crashed. And from then on, everybody was like, "Damn, Jay, he sent you a virus." Like his beat had malware on it. Like it's just like bro, like they was on it, like because it really just happened. As soon as I pressed play, everything just shut down, bro. Like at the
Oh,
perfect
damn.
moment. So and a bad part, I still remember that. But other than that, man, it's just so many. Like you just got to be there for the jokes, Jason, man. It's
Yeah.
just
I remember like if anybody put a drill beat up, the drill jokes. Like there were so many drill jokes.
right.
All right.
Terrible, man.
um you gonna bring back actual battles?
Hey man, we can. Like I said, man, I do it. I throw these events out here in hopes that I get some participation. I know everybody is busy. I know everybody got lives, children's jobs. So with everything going on and what you guys are doing it and Heatwave, which by the way, y'all doing an awesome job. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to interfere with anything that y'all got going on. So therefore, I kind of just try to pick my times wisely. But yeah, man, I'm if y'all game with it, I'm game with it. You know what I'm saying? As long as the participation is there, I don't have a
Right.
problem running. Yeah, I don't have a problem.
All right. Cool. I guess I should plug right now that we're gonna have our this week we're having what we call the Tournament of Fire. So yeah, everybody that won hotspot, has got a seat in there. Actually, I should probably let me name everybody that's going here. So it's gonna be Noah Thompson,
Okay.
the Wiser,
Okay.
EVM, the freshman, or he might be a graduate now.
Oh, he the
I'm not sure.
graduate. He the graduate.
Yeah, I don't know how far he has matriculated yet, but he's on his way. Our
Yes.
very own Fiction, Easy Money, S. Dot Shadow,
Ooh.
Grand Prix,
Ooh.
and 3D.
Ooh.
That's the lineup for this. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. So everybody tune in. That's this Friday night at 9:00 my time. So I think that's 8:00 Central, but 9:00 Eastern time. All right. So next question. Did you take piano lessons or did you teach yourself?
Oh man, I definitely took piano lessons. I started when I was about 8. Just learning the regular roll your boat, twinkle twinkle little star, all that good stuff. Then I got to high school and start actually learning how to do stuff, read music and all of that good stuff, music theory. And then I started just listening to certain things and realized that my ear was a little bit more in tune than what I thought, So I started playing more songs by ear and just going with that. So, but to answer your question, yeah, I started out taking lessons. Yes, I did.
All right, cool. So that's a good, if you're any parents out there, if you're thinking about putting your kid in piano lessons or music and they have an interest, it pays off.
Yes, yes it does. Yes.
Are you going to put your little man in music if he's interested in it?
Oh man, they all actually show interest in music, and I'm if they want, is that something they want to do? Yes, yeah, we can definitely do it.
All right. And this question isn't for you, and I don't know who it's from, but because like I said, I'm sorry. Sometimes it just says Facebook users, but
That's fine.
we got Philly represented, so somebody's repping Philly.
I think that was
If anybody else is from Philly, go ahead and connect. Let them know. All right, and then I'm reading through just a lot of everybody saying your beat was fire. They love that one. Squishy. Aaron Island wants to clarify. I'm not battling. I'm just curious. I'm retired. Retired? Hell, you ain't retired. Oh, here we go. Sean is 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. So there we go.
Okay.
And then one final thing, your mom's giving you, giving you the hands. Oh, Walter Ford. Walter Ford's the one asking.
Yeah.
If anybody else is from Philly. So, yeah, I mean, hey, if we can connect locally, I know, like for example, who was it? Wow, I'm drawing a blank already. Oh, Keith Longpree was in my neck of the woods the other day. Like he's in the same area I live in Canada, like in Ontario. So, like
Okay.
we haven't connected in real life or anything, but that's definitely a possibility down the road. So, yeah, let them know if you're in Philly.
Yeah, I definitely while we on that subject, I connected with G Fred, as a matter of fact, because he's from 318 as well. And I was actually at his house while him and Keith Sosa was online cooking up the beat that they was doing for the battle. So
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely good to connect with your locals, man. Yeah, it's definitely a good thing.
Yeah, that beat was fire too that they did together.
Yeah.
That was nice. All right. Well, Jay, that's about all I have for you. Do you have anything you want to tell everybody or anything you want to share before we end the interview?
Hey man, y'all just keep doing what y'all do, man. Like I said, y'all say I inspire y'all, and all actuality, y'all inspire me, man. So y'all keep doing y'all thing, keep making the fire, and as long as y'all want the events around, I'll be here to run them, man. Y'all just let me know something. That's all I got.
All right. Well, thank you. Now I'm going to kind of give everybody, like, if they're new to Heatwave, like a rundown of the events we have. But I'll be right back with you after that's done.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Jay. All right. That was Jay Hayden. Before we get into those events, I do want to mention that next week we have actually a friend of mine that I worked with Carnival Cruise Line. She was the female singer and I was a male singer, like for the production shows. She's deep into producing and being an artist and things like that. She's got some major placements on HBO and stuff like that. Kendall Lester is her name. She's going to be next week's guest. So if you want to know more about breaking into TV, film, breaking new artists, getting Spotify streams up, all that kind of stuff, or just to learn a different workflow, tune in. I'm really proud of how far she's gone since we worked together. Like we worked together back in 2006, something like that. So she's come a long way since then. And we're going to have a conversation with her. But let's get into the events. Like we talked about, that was the lineup for this week. We have, normally we have Hotspot, but not this week. This week we're going to have the Tournament of Fire. If you only tune in on, one Friday night every 8 weeks, make it the Tournament of Fire. We've had one so far for season 1. And if you attended that, you heard some of the best beats you probably heard in your life. Aaron Island came out on top. He walked away with $300. Everybody basically who is a winner, they win a pot for winning Hotspot, right? You win some money. It's always free to enter. But then, they can take all of it but 20 or just throw 20 back in the pile for the Tournament of Fire. So there's 8 participants. So it'd be $160 to start. People can donate if they'd like to the pot to, kind of give the winner a little bit of extra of a payday. It's just a great place to get your beats heard, and who knows, you could even walk away with a little money. Normally on hotspots, on a normal hotspot night, we have them at 9 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. Central time. It's hosted by Pat Carney, also known as Fiction. You would send your beats to, let me share the email address real quick, heatwavesubmissions@gmail.com. Send them in every Friday night without a tag. And the reason we do it without a tag is we don't want to know who the beat's by. We just want to kind of vote on how good the beat is based on that. And we have a voting system where it's 1 to 10, 10 being fire, 1 being junk, right? And you just give your rating on how good you think the beat is. And like I said, there is a little bit of a cash prize that goes with that. It's always free to enter. The good thing about it is we don't roast people. Like if you're a little hesitant to send in a beat because you're like, I just don't think it's that good, or I don't think it's good enough, send it in anyway. And you're going to get real constructive feedback, and we're going to give you tips on how to make it better next time. I know when I listen to my beats from, like, I basically started back into production April of last year, and I started coming to Jay's event, the Beat of the Week. And when I started coming to them, they weren't so good when I started sending up first in. When I listened to some of those early beats back then and how far I've come now, it's all thanks to events like this where you're just, that little bit of competitiveness makes you up your game and just makes you that better of a producer. And that's really what these events are about. And then every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central Time, we have Back to Back. That's hosted by Drew Burford, or Brainiac the Maniac, and it's also hosted by Troy Copeland, or EVM the freshman, or he may have graduated. It's a vibe. So you can send in any music you have. If you're an artist, maybe you have recorded poetry, like whatever, right? We're just there to listen. Nobody's going to rate your beats. They might rate your beats if it happens to be a challenge night. So every once in a while, we have a challenge. Our latest one was a space challenge where, you could put like outer space sounds and things like that into your beats. OG McNeil won last time with his amazing beat. It's in our group right now if you want to check it out. So shout out to OG, amazing work there. But most of the time it's just a vibe. And it's called Back to Back because you can send in more than one beat. You can send 2 in and they'll play them in a row. All right. So that is it. That is our show for this week. I want to thank you for tuning in or watching the playback or whatever you're doing. And we'll see you next time. By the way,